welcome to the Downtown Kentucky podcast.
That's right.
Woo!
We're here again.
We're doing it
What's up?
still. You thought we were done.
Doing the dang thing.
Yeah, we ain't
Go.
stopping. We're never gonna stop. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Never gonna stop yet.
That doesn't seem to actually be
now.
updating in real time. Cool. I love to see it.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, no, that's a cool feature. Because at the very least, the time should be going up. But it's not.
Should be. And it isn't, though.
Whatever. I fixed it. We're all good now. So, it's podcast. We're doing a podcast again. What's up, Chris? How's your week been?
It's been alright.
That's good.
Today sucked.
Oh.
That was pretty not great. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my
Chewy's in chat
goodness.
already.
Chewy's
What's
already
up,
here.
Chewy?
Chewy's here from the start. What's
Oh my
up,
gosh.
Chewy?
From Frame 1.
From
Chewy
Frame
has
1.
joined us.
Chewy's so here early, so here. Gosh,
Yeah, huh?
burn it.
He's what?
Chewy's so early here that Twitch still says we have 0 viewers. That's how early Chewy's here. Watching for the...
Oh, the notification. Beautiful.
Ooh.
Love it.
Ooh. Well, let's start with our first story, Chris. I think we just go right into this.
Okay.
You know, even though yes, the title of this video.
Are we in a real rush?
No, we're not. I feel like we're not talking about anything interesting. As much as I love Chewy and I want to give Chewy the shout outs, is that actually good content? If that's all we're doing is shouting out Chewy right now.
That didn't even get me a chance to.
Were you gonna? I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
No,
Just
I had a rough day at work, and that was it. No, that's
I
fine.
didn't. You already said that. I didn't know what else you were gonna say. I didn't know if you were gonna share why it was a rough day. If you want to, I'm all ears, Chris. I can be your therapist.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
We can talk about our stories.
It's up to you, Chris. It seems like you're really upset by this.
No, it's fine.
No, Chris, I'm sorry.
I'll be okay.
I'm sorry, man. All right, guys. This has been a podcast. Thanks for no, just kidding. But for real though, do you actually have a story from work you wanted to tell?
No, it was a bit.
Okay, I didn't know if there was any.
I mean, my day did suck, but
sure. But I feel like it sucked
I
in
was
the way.
playing it up.
I feel like it sucked in the way of your job always sucks. I didn't know if there was gonna be anything you could talk about for it.
Nah, no.
Well, you know whose job doesn't suck? That was a horrible transition. Sorry, actually, you know whose job also sucks? These better. Rewind. You know whose job also sucks? People who work at Amazon.
Yeah, that's fair.
And speaking of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. He, as a lot of people know, and if somehow you don't know, good for you for not caring about Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos has his own space exploration company, I guess would be the verbiage.
Yeah.
Sure. He has Blue Origin. It's his SpaceX. It's his thing. It's his version of it. They all have them. All the big billionaires are trying to make it to space right now.
Yep.
Well, Jeff Bezos has his.
Sure.
And, he had a successful launch, a while back where him and, his brother and an 18-year-old kid and some really old astronaut lady went to space and didn't seem to care. They played with Skittles in orbit rather than looking at the majesty that is space. But that's actually not the news. That was a month ago.
That was a while ago.
The new news is Jeff Bezos wants to break his own record. Because Jeff Bezos' record from that trip was he sent up, I don't remember her name, and I'm sorry. She's actually an astronaut who's actually done a lot of work and deserves credit. But the old lady astronaut he sent up, she was the oldest oldest person to ever be in space. And, deserves to be able to go to space because she worked so hard at NASA years ago and, deserved that credit. Well, now it's time for someone who doesn't deserve that credit.
That's right, baby.
It's time to break that record that we set for that woman and say, you know what? What if we gave it to a man who did nothing to earn it?
Well, he was an actor.
That's right.
For a space-themed show.
That's true. as his show said, space is the final frontier, and for him, hopefully it won't be. Hopefully he doesn't die up there. That'd be
That'd be kind of
really
hilarious.
bad. I mean, it would be, but it'd also be really sad. Like, I don't. He's like 90, so it definitely could happen. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't.
Really possible.
But if you haven't figured out by the clues we've dropped there, William Shatner is going to be on the next Blue Origin launch. For reasons?
Yeah. Do we have a time frame for how soon that is?
Oh, I'm sorry. I literally just heard that much about it and was like, oh, cool, write that down. I did not. I can do a quick Google search.
Because it honestly seems a little bit ridiculous that they're just... Even if it's like next year, that they're just shooting people into space every year just for fun.
Well,
It's
one
not cheap to go to space.
1 day ago, of course, well, it is Amazon, so price is not an issue.
You're right.
See, Chris, Jeff Bezos can go to space as much as he wants because he doesn't pay his workers.
It's true.
So William Shatner's actually Blue Origin space trip. This is actually live news from a day ago. Update from when I wrote this down initially. William Shatner's Blue Origin space trip delayed by weather.
I love it.
So
Classic.
he was scheduled for this past Tuesday.
Oh.
Or for this Tuesday, and it looks like it's going to be pushed till Wednesday. So he's going to space this week.
Seems a little bit soon to be doing another space launch, but I guess, what do I know?
He's Jeff Bezos, Chris.
He is Jeff Bezos. He does own Amazon.
He does. He owns the internet, man. But I did not expect to, find out information, updates on this news story when I tried to just do better research on it right there. But apparently it has been
becoming more and more like Lex Luthor.
He really is. Like, he is a supervillain.
Yeah.
But I also would like to say,
what's so bad about just sending people to space?
And by saying that good old Jeff Bezos, is a supervillain, I'm obviously joking, and I love anything connected to Amazon. Thank you for being on our Twitch account right now. Oh no! Oh, we're gonna get shut down. But it's okay because if we get shut down here, we just gotta wait a couple months. I'm sure Disney will make their own version of this, and we did a real good job making Disney think they're the best. Disney is our overlords, and we're down with the Disney.
Is true.
But yeah, I guess that's all the details on that story. Is William Shatner's going to space because he's from a space show.
Because Jeff Bezos wants to flex his money some more.
He really does. It's not even like a month, and he's going to space again. It might be a month and a half. Who knows?
Gotta shoot some more people out into orbit for 5 seconds because I can.
I do feel like there's a commentary that could be had. Probably not from us, because we're cisgendered white males. But I do feel like it's kind of there's a problem with the fact that a woman gets to have this awesome achievement and then we're just giving it to a man out of nowhere for no reason. I feel like there's definitely there's a commentary to be had there that I don't feel like we could truly do it justice. But
yeah, probably not.
Like, why? Like, I don't get it. Like, besides, I guess you know why? Because people like us are now talking about it. I mean, we have a almost non-existent audience currently, growing, strong, awesome. They're great. But I guess we're talking about it. If he just sent, astronauts for these test flights into space, no one would talk about it. If he sends William Shatner, 2 idiots on a podcast are going to talk about him for 5 minutes. So
that's right.
That's right, True. You are awesome. You are our #1 viewer currently viewing us, I think.
That's right.
No offense to, another TV viewer or
Extra more.
They're great too, but they've never. So far, they're lurkers, and I'm sorry. Maybe I'll get a lot of crap for this and hate in the comments, and that's fine. If you're active in the chat, you do become a little bit more my favorite than if you're a lurker. Like, I'm down for lurkers. Lurking's cool, but I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Maybe it's a hot take, but
I don't know if that is a hot take.
I don't think it is. I think I'm, just playing a bit here, and I don't think anyone would think that.
Oh. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I think it's time to move on to our next story, because we've talked about Jeffrey Bezos enough.
Yeah,
and not in the best
I
light,
agree.
which is probably not the best way. Like I joked about that, but we probably should definitely not. I should never bring up Amazon or Jeff Bezos again, and I don't want to get us, kicked off of Twitch because
Uh,
our YouTube views aren't good enough to move over there.
no, they're not. They're definitely not good enough to do that.
So our next story is, about Squid Game, which I still haven't seen. I'm sorry, internet. I know I
You
should.
should be.
I
It's
should
a
see
summer
it.
show.
I get it. I'll probably never get around to seeing it, but I understand. I should.
It's only 9 episodes.
Yeah, that's 9 hours of my life. I
No,
have
it's not. It's
That's
like
seven and
a
a half
little
hours.
bit left.
That's 7.5 hours of my life. When don't get me wrong,
That's
I
right.
do have watch. I'm taking a lot of entertainment, but oh.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know if
Got a
I don't know if I
hot
want to
take.
read this hot take because I don't want to get like Chewy doxxed for this because this,
That's fair.
questionable. Chewy saying
That's a hot take indeed.
Squid Game is terrible. I would rather watch nothing. Oh, buddy, forget the story I had. I think this is the story we need to cover now. Chewy thinks
the
Squid Game
divisive
sucks.
opinions of is Squid Game good or not?
The point is, I'm not here to talk about whether Squid Game is good or not. That's not the story. The consensus from society is Squid Game's pretty cool, I guess. But that's not the point here. The point is,
There's consensus.
the creators darn screwed up, though.
Yeah, they sure did. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
this is
Whoopsies.
honestly kind of an inexcusable mistake to make in 2021.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, a phone number, I don't know when it was used, but I think it was used multiple times throughout the show. There was
Huh.
a phone number that was a real phone number, which typically in movies, phone numbers
Yeah.
that are used are fake or bought by the studio to like put like a little Easter egg on, like a little recording.
Yeah.
They did not do that. They just made up a number, I guess, or just whatever. It ended up being a phone number of a South Korean woman who used this to run her dessert shop.
Rip.
And this poor lady can't use that phone number right now and can't do her business properly because she's getting like 1,000 text messages and calls a day from the fans of Squid Game.
Which is a thing I never got. Was like, why?
Well, because they probably assumed that, hey, if I call this number, it'll probably go to some little like ad, like normal. Normally, this isn't a thing, It should go to like some pre-recorded like voiceover saying like, "You found the number. Do you want to play the game?" or something stupid. Like it should just be something simple and stupid like that. But instead, it was just they were simple and stupid, and they did this.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so so she can't use her phone number right now, and it's really screwing up her life and business. And so she, contacted them, let them know about this, and a representative for the show did offer to pay her 1 million South Korean won, which translates to about $840. To buy a new phone.
Not much.
Yeah, which to be fair, to buy a new phone, that could get you like a top of the line phone for the most part. But the problem is that doesn't really cover the damages in the sense of she had advertisements out with this phone number on it. So like just getting a new number doesn't fix the problem.
Nope.
So I believe last I checked, which to be fair I think I wrote this down a couple days ago, there was no update other than that. So hopefully the creators this week here, they're like literally like the #1 show on the internet right now. They're bringing in money. You pay that woman a lot more money to fix this problem that you created due to your stupidity. I feel like they probably
costs to the business.
They probably will, because if not, they're gonna probably get sued and lose. So hopefully they just fix this problem before they have to.
Yeah.
Because,
that's just a stupid mistake.
It's just I don't like I normally take. Some people might think it's a fault of me, and that's fair. I a lot of times will take big business aside in some of our discussions. Big business was just stupid here.
Agreed.
They're just why? How do you? I mean, Use
I
the
don't
old
know how you make that
555
fake.
number crap.
Yeah, even if it's not a believable
Yeah,
number,
yeah. Use a fake
it doesn't
number.
matter.
Yeah.
It's a number for a TV show.
But no, they decided to. They wanted realism, Chris. They needed a real South Korean number, so they found one
Gosh darn it, they got
on a
it.
dessert company. They found this ad. They're like, this is a good looking number. Let's use
Dessert
this.
shop.
We'll get here so much business.
Oh,
Oh gosh,
hate that.
I feel so sad for her. Like it was so um preventable, and
Yeah, no,
there's
it
just
definitely was
no.
preventable.
It's just yeah, that's that story. I guess trucking right along.
Yeah.
We have our next story, which is a sad story. If this story was written in like 2015, but it's written in 2021, and that is that YouTube Rewind has been canceled officially by YouTube. There will never be another YouTube Rewind. Probably. They'll probably bring it back in like a year. They'll probably bring it back in like a year. Let's be
No more
real.
YouTube Rewind, but let's go.
Yeah, which, to be fair, right now, yeah, I'm with Chris. Who cares? YouTube Rewind sucks. But I want to give a little, backstory to YouTube. I loved YouTube Rewind at a point. Like, 2012 to, like, 2015, I really loved it. Like, I was really into the YouTube world at that point. Like, seeing all the big creators come together was really cool. But, then, as our friend here, Chewy, points out, it got real bad. And I think around 2017, 2018 was when it started dipping. And then 2019, they released the literal most hated video. It is the most dislikes in the history of YouTube. It has like 500 likes, and I want to say it's like something like 2 million dislikes or something insane like that. Like, it might have been about 500,000 likes, but either way, it's an insane ratio of just people hating on it. And I will say, I think around 2017, 2018, the quality started dropping. But it's really a shame because at the beginning, this was such a cool way to see the YouTube world kind of come together and collaborate on this cool thing that said, hey, look, we're going to pick the most popular YouTube song for the year, which is, Gangnam Style or What Does the Fox Say or some other crappy song that for some reason the internet decided to love for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were a cool little moment where you'd be like, hey, it's Rhett and Link, they're here. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, I like that guy. I don't know that guy. And then it kept being like, oh, I don't know any of these people anymore. Oh, okay. But that could have also been, on me for, falling out of the popular YouTube world, kind of falling into more niche stuff. But, I do think, as much as it'd be easy to be like, haha, yay, it's gone, I mourn what YouTube Rewind was at one point. I do.
Honestly, I'm both very glad that it is gone and also a little bit sad because even the really bad ones were still fun to make fun of.
That is true.
Like the 2021, which was taken down because it was so bad.
Yeah.
I
feel like that one.
If you haven't seen the 2020 Rewind, it's a literal YouTube musical.
Actually, I think it's still up. I remember. I think I saw it.
It was re-uploaded.
Oh, okay.
By not YouTube.
I thought it was by YouTube. I literally looked up YouTube Rewind stuff for this, and I swore it was just up there.
2020 YouTube Rewind.
It's like the top. It's like you have to go digging a little bit. Maybe not. I swear I saw it somewhere.
No, it's not there.
I saw it on
They took it down.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it was terrible. That was terrible. 2019, honestly, was probably worse. 2020 wasn't good because it wasn't YouTube Rewind. But 2019, there's a reason it's the most hated video. It's bad.
Yeah.
They kind of started with the worst part of it was they didn't start with a YouTuber.
Yeah.
They did the whole Will Smith thing, which, don't get me wrong, the "nah, that's hot" meme is funny, but it wasn't supposed to be a funny meme.
Yeah.
It was just supposed to be the intro to this video, and then they cut straight from that to Ninja, who at the time's YouTube presence was re-uploading his Twitch content. I don't know,
Oh, you know what? That's 2018 YouTube Rewind, not 2019.
Is it?
Yeah. 2019 is
You're right.
literally the most boring rewind
You're
because
right.
2018 got made fun of so much, and so they just did a
And then they
hey, here's a bunch of numbers.
didn't do a 2020 YouTube rewind because of COVID. Was their reasoning then? But now we found out that they're still not doing it. And I mean, COVID's still going, but that's not the reason they're not doing it at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our bad on the years being off there a little bit there. I also thought it was 2019 was the really bad one. No, it was 2018 that was really well. They were both really bad, but in their own ways.
Yeah.
2018 was a bad video. 2019 was just not what anyone wanted the video to be. To be fair, it was an okay top 10. I mean, it was a well-made top 10 YouTube video, which is not at all what anyone wanted YouTube Rewind to be.
Nope.
They had built up an audience of people who looked forward to YouTube Rewind every year. And because it was a fun, weird thing that you'd see once a year. And it's like, oh, wow, look at all these. Oh my gosh, my favorite YouTuber was in this for 2 seconds. Whoa, yep. 2 seconds, woo!
That was never me.
And your favorite YouTubers in California, they might get 5 seconds because they did a lot more stuff with the California YouTubers because that's where like YouTube's headquarters was.
Yeah, and now it's gone forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the ones that were already made are there. Thankfully, they're never gonna go away. They can live on in our hearts. And to be fair, the last like 2 to 3 years, other like channels have basically been making their own YouTube Rewind and doing better than YouTube had been anyway. So
that's fair.
I'm sure there will still be people making basically the same thing.
Yeah, probably. Almost certainly.
I will let you get the next story going, which one was it?
It's
Twitch leak.
Good old Twitch leak.
Twitch leak.
Twitch had Noopsy.
Oh yeah, they did.
And leaked a whole bunch of information related to the amounts of money.
Yes, the monetization
that people make on Twitch, and a lot of people got mad.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I don't know. I feel like the way people got mad was stupid. There should be anger. There should be anger at the fact that Twitch had such a easily exploitable stuff for this information to get out there. But people were also like getting mad at YouTube or Twitch streamers for making the money they're making. It's like, why are they making that much money? It's like, you could have already known they were making that much money if you did like
looked at their subscriber count.
If you look at subscribers, it's like times 2.5 roughly is what they should be making off of that. That doesn't include, to be fair, that wouldn't include bits or there's another thing. I don't remember what it was. Ad revenue. Yeah, sorry. Bits and ad revenue, which I believe this did. So, like, some of these people, you would be making slightly more money, but let's be real. Bits and ad revenue are not where you make money on Twitch. You make your money on Twitch through subscribers. Yeah. And, yeah, so I honestly wasn't going to cover the story because it's not that interesting of a story, but I do feel like we do cover news and we are on Twitch. It would be a little disingenuous to not cover Twitch news.
And to be up in front with everyone here, we don't make any money on Twitch.
No, we don't. We don't make money anywhere currently. This is all for the love of the game, and hopefully someday me and Chris would both love for this to be our job, but it's not right now, and it just isn't.
We would love to be currently well off, like a lot of big streamers.
Yeah, a lot of those big streamers would be cool. I'll be honest, I don't even care about being well off. I just want to like genuinely if we could even just make the money to buy the games we buy off of Twitch, I'd be happy. If this just became a
little bit more than that.
Sure, no, I would love to be like
a livable wage.
Yeah.
And to be able to buy.
Sure, no, I would love that, Chris. I would love that. But I want to set my goals reasonably, and I want to just at least first get to this not literally costing us money.
That's fair.
Technically, currently it costs money, so it'd be kind of cool if it was at least a hobby that was zeroed out to nothing. You're like, oh, cool. I'm just doing it.
Fair. Yeah.
But it's not.
We have been put far in the hole because of our hobby.
Technically, if I really wanted to get down, I mean, I don't know why we're going to do this, but I will. I don't care. I'll joke around a little bit here. I won't give exact numbers, but I'm like over $1,000 in the hole because I technically bought my computer to hopefully do something like this someday, and all my other computer stuff and the games I bought. I'm not saying that in a bag. I did it because I wanted to. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't have done it. But
Right.
I've spent a lot of money on this that I'm not even talking about that. I don't even want to get the money back for what I put in. I just don't want to spend any more money.
That's fair.
I want to buy you a new computer with the money. That'd be cool. Because your computer sucks and is old and is going to die someday.
Oh. It doesn't. It is old. It doesn't suck.
That's fair.
It's not great.
Yeah. Well, what else? Is there anything else we talk about the Twitch?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Noopsy. And then Facebook kind of had Noopsy.
I mean, Facebook. See, oopsie. See the problem. Twitch.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Twitch.
It wasn't Facebook's fault.
Well, no, bull crap. Which one are we talking about? It wasn't Facebook's. Yeah, that's Facebook's fault because Facebook did all that.
Oh, it wasn't Facebook's fault that they had a whistleblower.
Sure.
Somebody just blew the. Sure, they deserved it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say it's not that.
They should have been blowing a lot of whistles beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, you say, oh, it's not Facebook's fault, a whistleblower. Yeah, it is. They made a reason for the whistleblower to blow their whistle.
Point being is, it wasn't an oopsie at all. It was just a thing that was a long time coming.
Yeah, I think it's I feel like Twitch, you could argue, sure, maybe they could have known better. They should have had a better system in place. Twitch made an oopsie because it was something that wasn't fully in their control. Facebook didn't make an oopsie. Facebook made years of stupid decisions.
Yes. What was it? A continuous severe lapse in judgment?
Yeah, and then also I don't remember. To be fair, this wasn't a story I did a lot of research on, but I have heard a little bit about it. And then there's Zuckerberg straight up lying about it. His statement is we just don't think that's accurate, and we would never do that. Facebook cares about people, and they don't.
They don't.
Our new algorithm we put in place that she referenced is actually to hopefully get people off of Facebook. Yet everything she showed was from internal paperwork from Facebook that she, sure, you could argue, stole from Facebook. Technically illegal, technically wrong, fine, whatever. She did. It was there. It was their studies. It was their studies that Facebook is literally horrible for people.
Yeah. Facebook is terrible for you.
Yeah.
If you're on it, stop.
Yeah.
Get some help.
Yeah. Don't be on Facebook. It's just an echo chamber of voices, and most of it's misinformation.
Yeah. Part of that. Part of that.
Speaking of misinformation, they one part of her whistleblower thing is how she mentioned the whistleblower's thing was she mentioned that one of the things was
their entire profit model is
based off of the
misinformation.
Yeah, but also how one of the things he brought up again was how we have this new system that we try to stop misinformation now, which to be fair they tried during election time and then just turned it off. Yeah. Because they only care about stopping it during the election, but they're cool with having people for 4 years continue to spread misinformation that will then affect the next election.
Yeah.
We try not to get political here, but just Facebook is causing the worst in people on both sides.
Facebook is an evil mega corporation that only cares about making money. Yeah, doesn't care about your feelings.
Even cares
about keeping you on the website.
Yeah, and even their side company, there are other companies that are not as bad, like WhatsApp and Instagram. Instagram is also there's tons of studies how it's terrible for teenagers to be on it, how it's destroying their self-worth and their mental health and stuff. I will say WhatsApp for the most part. I actually don't think WhatsApp is actually really useful, and it's really a shame Facebook owns it because WhatsApp is the number one way to talk to people in other countries. Tons of countries use that as their messaging platform. Because it's easier for them. It runs off the internet, and sometimes they don't have good cell service and stuff like that, or they need to contact someone through international stuff. And for international contact, it's actually amazing. So I don't care about WhatsApp, but WhatsApp I wish wasn't owned by Facebook because it actually is a useful tool, unlike the other two that you could definitely argue have their problems for sure.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Well, they're not gone. Don't worry, Chris. They're right there. They're still destroying the world.
Yeah, did Mark Zuckerberg lose $7 billion
who cares?
In futures or whatever? Yes.
Who cares?
But is he still running strong? Sadly, yes.
Who cares about Mark Zuckerberg? He's a robot.
Oh no, I was saying it's great that he lost seven
Oh yeah,
billion.
no, it's good. I wish he'd lose more money.
I wish he wasn't in business anymore, but unfortunately he is.
I wish all billionaires didn't exist because I don't think they're needed. Like millionaires, sure, you could be a millionaire if you work your butt off, but I don't know. That's a whole different.
Yeah, redistributing of wealth.
To be fair, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they're doing a bad job at it too, and Facebook has its own problems. I will say, when it comes to Mark Zuckerberg being rich, you don't hear about Facebook like super underpaying their employees. It's not like Amazon. Amazon is the other side where it's like how the richest man on the world also pays his employees a non-livable wage and gives them horrible work conditioning, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
But Amazon's great. I love them. Twitch is the best platform ever. I love when it tells me the viewers that I have and it's wrong. It's great. It's kind of it keeps you on your toes when the number's wrong.
Yeah. Always keeping you on your toes. Always. Oh yeah. And it says we have 3, but
Yeah,
definitely looks like we have more than 3.
You open it.
I don't know.
You open it and it says we have 6, and you're like, are those people here? And then you'll open it and say it says 6, and you'll get your Twitch email, and it'll be like, you had a total of 5 viewers total, 5 unique viewers. And I'm like, I definitely saw more of those at one point, but okay, fine, all right, Twitch. You're still the one who's the closest to us having a chance of making money on, so I guess I'll keep using you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Well, that's not true. I guess the closest we are to making money would be on Patreon. If you want to just support us, just go give us money on Patreon because we would just get it immediately.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
If you have money and love us, which is fair if you don't, and I don't blame you, you don't have. I'm not asking for you to give us money, but if you wanted to support us, that would be the best place to go because you could just give us money.
Yeah, true.
But that's not the point of this. The point of this is YouTube and... Oh, great, my webcam is...
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, cool. I love when it does this. All
right. So while Austin tries to figure out.
Oh, thank you, Chewy. You don't have to do
situation.
that, but thank you if you do that. That'd be amazing. We already love you, but we'll love you more.
Hold on. I don't want to create that precedent.
What? I don't. It's not. Okay, wait.
So okay. Austin's gonna figure that out.
I fixed it.
In other news,
move on to the next
Smash.
Oh yeah, because that's the news cycle this week. We
don't have much to talk about this week. Yeah, sorry.
That's the news cycle this week. Is we have to talk about characters announced for Smash.
Yeah, I mean he is the final character being announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Technically, and most likely, the last Smash Bros. Character to be announced ever.
Oh, bullcrap. It'll be the last game he makes. There's no way Nintendo will let this be the last Smash game made. As much as he did a great... Like, what's the name of the guy? I'm not big on video game creators. What's his name?
I think it's Satoshi. Satoshi. Is Satoshi Nakamoto? No, definitely not Satoshi Nakamoto.
Well, the thing is, no matter what he is, he's an awesome visionary, but also, it's a fighting game. And literally anyone can make a fighting game, especially once they already have the framework that he painstakingly made. There is no way this will be the last one. There's no way Nintendo will let that cash cow go away. I mean, I could be wrong, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I would be shocked if this is the last Smash game made. I agree. The creator's been saying this is gonna be the last like 3 Smash games are gonna be the last Smash game he makes. So I hope for his sake, because he seems miserable whenever he does this, that he is done. Any interview you hear from him, he always seems like he works his butt off. He loves Smash. And I'm not saying the next Smash will be good with someone who doesn't love Smash. They probably won't be if they replace him, but they probably will, because it's a fighting game. It's really not that hard to make. Someone else will make it at some point. I'd be shocked. I would be surprised. I mean, it is Nintendo, and Nintendo is crazy, so they might be willing to. Sakurai, there it is.
Yeah. It is.
Nintendo's a crazy company, and they've done a lot of weird, crazy decisions over the years, so they could be the one company to be like, we're respecting our creators and never continuing their series without them. And I'd be like, well, okay, Nintendo, good for you. But I'd be shocked. They're a business. And if Smash keeps making money, which it has, they're gonna want to make more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll make another Smash. I think they might keep releasing DLC characters for Smash.
It's possible.
Uh, and if they do, I think that'll keep making them money. Like a lot of fighting games recently have kind of been following that
But you
model,
know the
like
thing
Mortal
you're
Kombat.
missing here is Nintendo. If Nintendo was just a company that made games, I'd think you could be right. Like, because other fighting games, you're right, are going more and more like that. But they're also a manufacturer of goods, and at some point they're going to make another console, and they are going to want a new Smash for that new console.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, that's the thing is.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! They made the Switch OLED.
Oh, you mean the Switch?
Yeah, a very big
Hey, they
upgrade.
also, turned on Bluetooth that was there the whole time that people wanted, and they just said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I guess we can do that," and just turned it on.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty great.
But yeah, Sora's in Smash, which is a big deal, I guess.
It is. I mean, I'm
I mean,
excited. I'll
my
be
problem.
probably trying to main him if I get back into
I
playing
own
the game.
Smash. I don't own the DLC, so I wouldn't even get Sora. But my problem is, it's just another sword fighter.
But he's a light, bouncy sword fighter with really crazy broken jumps.
But there's a million other sword fighters.
But
I don't
none
know the
will play
stats, but
like him.
I don't know the stats, but I'm pretty sure it's probably close to 50% sword fighters at this point. It feels like that. The game is just it's
Hold
so
on.
many sword fighters.
Sword fighters in Smash. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out these stats.
There is nice 20.
20. How many
Wait,
characters are there total? It's like what, like
there
100?
is 90 something
All right. So okay, so it's
Smash
closer.
fighters
It's a fifth.
roster.
I'm sorry, it's only a fifth. But that's still an insane number when you really think about it.
74.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, that takes it down to a
It's
fourth.
almost a third?
Yeah, it's like in between a fourth and a third.
Yeah.
Which, sure, that's not the half I speculated, but it's a high number for
It's a
characters
pretty
that
solid amount of characters.
pretty much all work relatively the same.
Yeah. Pretty
um,
cool. They got 20 sword fighters.
yeah, 20 sword fighters, and they added another one. But I guess I think the cool part is it's our I am excited about it because it's our overlords Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Disney has finally got a representative in the
yeah,
game.
yeah. Like so, for that sense, Sora
Sort of.
is cool. Yeah.
I do have the Mickey Mouse ears
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse is
on the
officially on the
Keyblade.
Switch. It's a pretty big deal. Um, that's really the main point is that it's a huge deal. What else can we go for from there? Mickey Mouse. Um, so now on to not news at all.
Yep, not news, even in the remotest sense.
Not news even in the sense of some of the news stories we cover which aren't news. This is not news. This was kind of news about I want to say it was close to like 4 months ago at least.
Oh wow.
Yeah. As a lot of people know, there is a movie coming out, I believe in 2022.
Hmm.
It might be 2023. There is Sonic 2 coming out, the hit sequel to the amazing classic that is the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. An amazing
That's
movie.
right.
The last movie I saw in theaters. Still
Wow.
to this
So
day,
sad.
I have not seen another movie in theaters except for Sonic. That was the last movie I got to see before the pandemic started, and um,
Oh, there's
there,
already a Sonic 2 theater trailer.
oh, I think it's
Oh.
just like a teaser though. But moving on from that trailer because I haven't seen it, so we can't talk about
Mm.
it. The news we're covering here is mostly news to Chris because I told him about it on Sunday and he had no idea what's happening.
Nope.
Idris Elba is going to be Knuckles, the hedgehog, the echidna, not a hedgehog. My bad, echidna. I'm not a kid, right? Echidna?
Knuckles the Echidna.
Yeah, okay. I said it, but it felt wrong as I said it. And I was like, is that right? Yeah. So Idris Elba is Knuckles, which isn't the worst casting I've ever heard. It's not.
No?
It's not Super Mario Brothers casting.
It isn't Super Mario
It's
Brothers
not Chris
casting,
Pratt
you're
as
absolutely right.
Mario.
It's certainly not the craziest thing.
No, but it did lead to just what was I saying? My brain broke there. So I thought that's what it was. This led to me wanting to do a little mini segment here. And I want to get me and Chris to decide who should play other amazing characters from the Sonic franchise. And I know like 2 others, so we're going to only talk about those 2 others because it's the Sonic characters and who cares. Oh. Unless you have other ones. Chris, you know which one I want to do last. If you can think of one after to fill in a couple in between, that's cool.
I know which one you want to do last.
Yeah. The first one let's try to cast is who should be Cream?
Cream. It would have to be a child because Cream is a literal 6-year-old.
I don't think he does. I think we can make Cream older now. It's time to age up Cream.
Cream. Sonic.
She's probably 6. You're right. No. So what? Let's go with. She's definitely not 6, but she's still a child, and it's Hollywood, and they don't care. Let's go with Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown.
That feels right.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown is Cream.
Okay.
Confirmed. Your computer confirmed it. The first one real easy. All right, Chris. Do you know of it? Are there any other Sonic characters that I'm not thinking of that we should talk about here?
Amy Rose.
I don't. Which one is she?
The love interest of Sonic. Well, the one who wants Sonic to be her husband.
Amy Rose Sonic. Okay, her. So Sonic is Ben Schwartz, right? So who would be a good love interest for Ben Schwartz?
I'll
be honest. I don't know. I don't know much about Amy Rose, so I need you to tell me who's be good for this one.
I feel like she's got to be like kind of like sassy and kind of witty.
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon. I don't think would be.
No, she wouldn't.
The worst.
Oh really? I think that'd be Kristen Wiig. Good. Let's bring Kristen Wiig in.
Amy Rose. Yep. I was thinking more of what's the girl or the actress who plays Penelope von Schwartz in the Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, Sarah Silverman. I feel like would be a good Amy Rose, honestly.
Okay, I like Sarah Silverman. I mean, to a point. I mean, she's made some mistakes in her past in her comedy career, but you know, she's apologized profusely over the years, so good for her. Being better now. Let me look up Sonic characters, see if there's any that we're missing that we need to mention.
Isn't there like a the Bat?
Sure. Who should play?
If we're gonna cast the last character.
Oh, wasn't there also like a? Isn't there also like an alligator?
Yeah, Vector.
Sure, we'll talk about him too. Yeah. So who should be Rouge the Bat? I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about Sonic. Give me a description of Rouge the Bat, and I'll tell you who she should be.
She's a sexy bat lady.
Oh, sexy bat lady? All right, then that's obvious.
And that's honestly the most apt description I could give.
Sexy bat lady. Ooh.
She like seduces people, and also she's like a thief.
All right.
Yeah, a renowned jewel thief.
Oh, that's a hard one. Who's got a sultry voice?
A sultry voice. I remember when they tried to cast Renee Zellweger as a sultry voice in Shark Tale.
Let's go with Kim Kardashian. All right, moving on.
Don't you dare.
Fine, Kourtney Kardashian. Actress. Moving on.
Those aren't voice actors. How dare you?
It's Hollywood, baby. No one's a voice actor anymore. You know what, Chris? The answer to who every female character should be played by? Tara Strong. All right, we'll move on. But that's not going to happen. Yeah, I love the art of voice acting. This isn't an animated show. This is a movie. They're going to get some big-name actor, which
Angelina Jolie.
Perfect. Believable. Yeah. I believe it. There are
Scarlett Johansson.
Sure. 2 amazing actresses who should not be cast in this voice role, but they will be if they ever make it.
If they ever put Rouge the Bat in Sonic, no, it's going to be the independent spin-off Shadow the Hedgehog.
So who should be Vector the Crocodile? I feel like there's not enough diversity in this class, so I cast.
Joe Rogan.
I don't know anything about Vector the Crocodile, but I feel like we need to cast some diversity here, so not Joe Rogan. Let's get a diverse cast here.
I said Joe Rogan. I totally didn't mean Joe Rogan.
You probably meant Seth Rogen?
I did.
But you know what? No, we're moving on. It's Joe Rogan. He's gonna take a break from. He's gonna take a break from his misinformation podcast, and he's gonna do this voice role.
He's gonna stop taking ivermectin for just a second.
Gosh darn it, Chris! I'm gonna have to deep dive edit and bleep that. Why did you say that? I hate you. We're literally going
45 minutes in. They won't catch it.
Oh.
They'll scan the first 10 minutes of the
We're
podcast.
probably going to get dinged for mentioning it. It is so not even safe to mention that word on the internet.
That's so wild.
It's called The Paste and nothing more.
Yield paste.
Gosh darn it, Chris. I'm mad at you now. Oh, gosh darn it. Who plays the reason I want to do this fan casting? Who's playing Shadow?
Who's playing Shadow the Hedgehog?
That's right, Adam Sandler. Let's move on.
Shut up. Don't you dare say Adam Sandler.
Fine, Pete Davidson. Let's move on.
I mean, realistically, maybe.
Yeah, I really
don't like it, but maybe.
No.
I hate it, but maybe.
No, and also, going back, instead of Joe Rogan, I'm going to go with for Vector. I know I said diversity, but forget that. We're going to go with John Cena. John Cena. I like John Cena. I want him to get more roles.
For Vector?
Yeah, for Vector.
I'm going to go with Paul Rudd for Shadow the Hedgehog.
No. I'm going to veto that. Shadow has to be cool. Paul Rudd is fun. He's a nice guy. He's not cool.
He's a really
Ryan Reynolds could be Shadow the Hedgehog.
Absolutely not.
I think he could be. Because that man's cool.
Shadow the Hedgehog is not funny at all.
Yeah, but
he's super serious.
Fine.
All the time.
Oh, super serious all the time? Let's get the actor who played the Storm's father in Fantastic.
No. Oh, I was just going to say Morgan Freeman, but those two are basically the same person.
Yeah. How about Michael B. Jordan, actually? Legitimately.
Michael B. Jordan, honestly.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's a cool dude, but also can
Michael
play
B. Jordan is Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. I know we made a lot of jokes there, but it led to Michael B. Jordan as Shadow.
Serious Michael B. Jordan is Shadow the Hedgehog.
All right. Moving on to our last
casted Sonic 2.
We did. We cast. Well, that's Sonic 3 because none of these characters have been announced for Sonic 2. We casted Sonic 3 for them.
We did it.
You're welcome.
Paramount, you're welcome.
Paramount, we will be taking our royalty check in by way of mail, please.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to give out my address online, so you just go give us a donation on our patreon.com/downtown Kentucky.
Your people contact my people.
And you contact our people, which is me. I run all of our social media. So just contact me.
Contact my people.
That's me. That is people.
All right, what do we got up next?
I believe next we have on our list. Oh gosh, I just burped into the mic. I'm sorry, audio listeners. Next on our list of topics is it's gonna be kind of a brief one. It's just one I want to give a little shout out to the world.
Okay.
I've done it multiple times in the past couple of years. I'll be on YouTube and I'll see a little YouTube video suggestion. I'll be like, oh, that's interesting, and then I'll spend 3 hours watching that person's videos, and it always happens with the same kind of thing, which is lost media. I am really intrigued by lost media. I keep watching different channels that get randomly suggested to me, and I watch a minimum of an hour of their content in one sitting because I'm just like, oh, I'll go to the next video. Oh, one more video. Lost. You know about lost media, right, Chris? You know, right? You know what lost media is?
Not really.
Okay, cool. I'll explain it to you and our audience in case they don't know. So lost media is basically media that was lost.
Oh, okay. I'll leave that. That was a good podcast. Glad I came.
For example, old cartoons where they aired, but they're a little older and they weren't. They're gone now. There's a couple episodes that maybe someone recorded, but for the most part, that show is gone. It's off the internet. No one knows how to find it. And that's a big example of it. Is like it's a lot of like cartoons will like, hey, this show was on the air for 2 seasons, and well, there's 7 episodes available online that people have found, and the rest of the show is just gone. It's like, oh, that's really interesting. That's lost media, and these people. It's a lot. I'll be honest. A lot of the videos they're very similar. It's always someone kind of talking in a slightly monotone voice, kind of just giving you the information. But you know that hits something in my brain where I'm like, soothing. Let me hear about the thing that's not there anymore. You know. I want to give a specific shout out to the person whose videos I stumbled into recently. Her channel is Kate's Place. So if Lost Media sounds like something you'd be interested in, go to her first. Then keep digging after that. She made a couple of videos. She only made like 10 or so videos, and I really enjoyed all of them. So it's interesting. It's interesting just to hear about like, especially like it's a lot of shows from like the 90s. Just that's pre everyone recording everything. So just a lot of it's just gone. There's not a lot, but like there are shows where it's like, oh, it's just gone. Maybe the company who made the show has them somewhere, but to the greater public, it's just lost right now. It's an interesting thing. I don't have a lot to talk about it. It was a couple minutes there, just something I saw. I was like, that. Well, moving on to our next segment, which is a new segment. That's right. Let's ring the new segment bell.
Woo. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, bong.
I like how you almost didn't do a bell. That was nice. I like that. This is a new segment bell. This segment does not have a name yet, but the rough title, which is just basically a description of what this is. The rough title is Super Easy Questions for Someone Who Knows Next to Nothing About a Topic. So, the idea behind this...
That's me.
This week, that is Chris. Chris is the person who does not know about the topic. As I have alluded to occasionally on our content, I am a huge professional wrestling fan. Chris couldn't care less.
Nope.
And so... in today's first edition of this segment, I'm going to give Chris 5 really easy questions for wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, these are super easy. I just want to see how Chris does. See what Chris knows about wrestling. And next week, we might do one where...
I am a genius, so...
Yeah, Chris will ask me questions about a topic I don't know a lot about, and we might do this for a couple weeks. Maybe. We might not.
I don't know.
The plan is to maybe do it next week.
I'm bad about asking questions.
All right, our first question.
What was the question?
I haven't read it yet. All right, this is our first question. There's gonna be 5 questions here. If you're not a big wrestling fan, you can play along in the chat or on the comments if you're on YouTube.
And I won't look at I'm actually gonna turn off.
That's a good idea.
I've locked my phone.
Yeah,
chat is gone.
Chewy might be a huge wrestling fan and just give you all the answers.
Usually I watch chat so I can, keep up. But
so here's our first question: is
completely fair.
What does the E in WWE stand for? A. Experts. B. Extravaganza. C. Entertainment. D. Excitement.
Go with C. Entertainment.
We're off to the races here. Chris gets his first one correct. To be fair, probably the easiest question on the list.
Super easy.
I will give a shout out because you can't see it right now. Chewy gave a great answer, which was E. Egg.
World Wrestling Egg.
So now question number 2. Who has held more world championships? John Cena, The Undertaker, Triple H, or Hulk Hogan?
This is a much tougher question than the first one for me.
It is. I'll be fair. It is a little tougher, but if you are a wrestling fan, you would know this in a minute or so.
I want to say it's The Undertaker.
Not even close.
Triple H?
No. Want to try it one more time?
Is it Hulk Hogan?
Wrong. It's John Cena.
John Cena. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Chewy guessed Hogan, and I honestly kind of expected you to guess Hogan because I think a lot of people think of Hogan. He was the guy who was all about wrestling at one point. Everyone knew Hulk Hogan. But Hulk Hogan was just champ for a long time. He was champ for like 4 years at a time.
Who had the second most?
On that list, to be fair, I didn't actually look up any of these people I believe it's probably Triple H.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe
that was my second answer.
To be fair,
it wasn't John Cena.
Yeah, to be fair, that is me going off of just trying to remember. John Cena, I believe, has held 16 world titles, and the only other person who's tied with him, who I did not put on a list because I did not want to trick you, is Ric Flair. Those two men have the tied record for most titles.
Hey, I would have guessed Ric Flair if he was on that list.
Well, you would have been kind of right. All right.
I know that John Cena speaks really good Mandarin.
He does. Our next question. This one, might be a little bit harder. That's fair. Question number 3. As of 2021, the year we are filming this podcast and it has been released, how many WrestleManias have there been?
I'm going to go with A37.
You let me read them first, Chris.
A37.
A37, B41.
Oh, I changed my mind.
C25, D32.
I'm going to go with B41.
It is A37.
I was right the first time. Well, I already locked my answer in before, so I
and now right. For the first question 5, because I made a typo.
Yeah. Question 5, number 1.
Staying in the WrestleMania realm, what city was the first WrestleMania in? A, Boston, B, New York, C, Philadelphia, D, Orlando.
I'm going to go with Philadelphia.
I'll let you have a second go.
I'm going to go with Boston.
All right, yes, it is B, New York.
Yes, B, New York.
Oh, and then look at the chat. It's Chewy guessing Orlando. Both of you did not get the points.
I don't know anything about wrestling.
That's the point of this segment, is the people who might tune in and know about wrestling are going to be like, man, this guy's stupid. And we're going to do the same thing next week with Chris asking me a topic that I should know, I guess. And now this last question, which is, to be fair, maybe not everyone would know this who's a wrestling fan, but it's a fun question, I felt like. Which one of these is not one of the 3 characters Mick Foley has portrayed? Dude Love, Splinter, Cactus Jack, or Mankind?
Considering I don't know who Mick Foley is, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and go with Cactus Jack.
You, my friend, did not get it right, but Chewy in the chat did with Splinter.
Is it Splinter?
Splinter is the wrong answer.
I knew Dude Love and Mankind had to be right.
It's fair. Yeah, that's right. Chewy's happy. Chewy's excited in the chat.
All right.
That has been the first edition of, what did I call it? Super easy questions for someone who knows next to nothing about the topic.
I don't know if those questions were super easy, I'll be honest. But
You're not a wrestling fan, though. The idea is they're super easy if you know about the topic.
No.
But you don't know about the topic, and that's fair. And I hope next week you give me a topic that I know nothing about. I have, brought up maybe you could do anime. That's one I know almost nothing about.
Yeah, I'll probably do anime.
Yeah, if you do anime, I will say, as like a little, to try to make it as fair as this one was, stay away from Pokemon questions, because that's one of the only animes I know anything about.
Yeah, I would never ask questions about Pokemon. That's easy.
Fair. But that's probably the only anime I could probably get right. All right. Moving on to our next segment. It's one of our regular segments. It's time for Movie Club. That's the new song. We're changing it every week. I think we did a different song last week. And that's this week's song for Movie Club.
Gotta be honest, not a huge fan of this week's song.
What? Why? I think it was pretty good. All right, well, Movie Club, if you're a new viewer, Movie Club is a book club but for movies. Every week, me and Chris talk about a movie.
Yeah.
This week, we are continuing a series we're doing right now where we're talking about the Halloween Town movies. This is Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge.
A movie that I forgot that I watched literally 3 days ago. 4 days ago.
It was Wednesday, so it was like 5 days ago.
No, I don't know if that's true.
Because 7 days ago was the last podcast.
No.
And Wednesday would be 5 days ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, it was 5 days ago. It wasn't that long ago.
No. So, are you saying I'm going to have to go down the rundown of what happened because you don't remember?
I mean, I know what happened. I
Okay.
forgot that we watched it.
Oh, okay. Well, Chris, what were your thoughts on Halloween Town 2: Calabar's Revenge?
Uh, it was very silly.
That is an accurate description.
Uh,
Better or
there
worse than
was
Halloween Town 1?
there was improvements in some regards
Mm.
and non-improvements in other regards.
Yes.
The improvements, I would say, would be that there was less eyebrow wiggling.
There was a lot less eyebrow wiggling.
Like, I feel like somebody wrote a very heated review, and that was their only criticism.
Yeah, probably.
Was that there was too much eyebrow movement.
That's fair.
Whenever the actresses or actors were delivering their lines.
That is true.
And they're like, all right, we just can't, just don't do it.
Yeah. I would also say another improvement that was made was just the acting in general. I actually think the delivery on a lot of the lines was better.
Yeah.
Except for little Sophie.
Yeah.
If you tuned into last week's podcast, you heard us talk about how the best part of that movie was little Sophie's acting, and man, did she go downhill.
Yeah, was not the best part of Halloween Town 2.
She was not able to act anymore. Like, I feel like when she was a kid, she was just told, hey, do this, and she just had like that kid charm of just like, I'll just do it. And now I think she's trying to act, and it's a big flaw.
Yeah.
She's trying too hard, and it's just, she's as bad as every other actor was in the last movie, where they all felt like they were really trying, but didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
What was I gonna say? What else? So I guess general plot, because this is maybe something we could do here, is general plot. So this movie takes place a year after the last movie, I believe.
Sure.
Maybe 2 years. I don't remember where it takes place. It takes place a little bit after the last movie. And, well, the main conflict of the last movie was, the mother. Well, one of the main conflicts of the last movie was the mother not accepting magic being allowed from the grandma, which was resolved at the end of the last movie. But they decided, hey, what if it's not resolved? Which is another huge flaw in this movie, was just that one of the few moments of character growth and development in the last movie was immediately erased away because reasons.
Yeah. Because we need conflict, and the only conflict in this movie is that Sophie was an idiot and brought a boy into a room that she shouldn't.
Whoa. Sophie's a little girl.
Sophie was not Marnie.
Marnie was the idiot.
Marnie was the idiot.
Yeah.
And then they went and yeah.
And he changed up the magic of the world. Cal, which wonder who he's going to be related to in this movie, Calabar's Revenge.
Who does not make an appearance in the movie at all, by the way.
They show one screenshot of him from the first movie.
Yeah. Calabar, spoiler, doesn't make an appearance in this movie at all. It's just Calabar's son, Cal.
Labar. I'm just kidding. But yeah, in general, I would say this movie, even in the areas it got better, I think overall this movie is worse.
Yeah.
I think the plot of the first movie was a lot better. And even though the acting might be slightly better in this movie, the plot is so much just stupider. It kind of breaks down where you're like, wait, what? Why? Why is this happening? Like, they realized, like, the solution to one of the main problems within, like, 20 minutes into the movie, and then they're just like, but now there's this other problem, which, like, you could say, oh, well, you have to keep adding problems, but it wasn't done in a way that worked. It was just like, they solved the first problem in 30 minutes, so we made another problem
and
at that point in the
big
story.
Kind of point of contention in the story is that there's this portal to Halloween Town that closes at midnight, and they've got to get back there before midnight. And then the door is closing, which Marnie totally could have slipped through, by the way. And then she just doesn't.
Yeah.
And then so instead, they just decide to open the portal again anyways.
But that's against the rules, Chris. That's why it was such a big deal.
And it was... that was it.
Yeah. The movie, I'll be real, the movie wasn't as good. I think the movie... And here's the thing, the first movie is probably not... As much as it's one of my favorite movies, it's not a great movie. But it's got, like, a lot of charm. And I feel like this one lost a lot of that charm.
It did. Also, there was a lot of, like, very internet
Oh yeah, there was a
focused.
lot of backdoor of the internet talk.
Yeah, lots of we gotta hack the thing.
Yeah, on the
And I was
net and all that
uh,
kind of
it's like
verbiage.
this
Because
is a
this
movie
movie,
about witches.
but it came out in 2001 when the internet was new, ish.
Like just stick to the theme of the movie and forget that the internet is a thing for like a second.
No, that's fair. Definitely a fair complaint of this movie. Um, and
That's, yeah,
so
that's all I gotta say.
every week though we watch these movies, and if you want to watch these movies too, so you're prepared for movie club, because this is movie club. This is a book club. If you guys watch the movies and show up to movie club, and we'll read your comment. If you have comments about the movie, we will read them.
That's right.
So far, that has never happened. But if it ever does happen, you are allowed to be part of this segment.
That's right. You could be part of the segment.
And
And
if
you could also watch this movie alongside us.
That's
if
darn
you
right. I was
listen
getting
to our
that.
movie club commentary
That's right.
on our Patreon, which is free.
That is true. It's on our Patreon, which is free. And movie club commentaries, basically, it's like Riff Tracks. It's like all those other Mystery Science 3000, those kind of shows. It's us kind of making fun of a movie, which is what me and Chris do most of the time when we watch movies together anyway. So basically, you just get to pretend like you're friends with us for an hour and a half to 2 hours a week.
Right. That's as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
You can pretend.
Yeah, you can pretend. Jump on in, enjoy the movies with us. If for some reason, not for some reason, I hope you do. If you decide you want to be part of movie club, movie club, and you want to watch these movies every week with us, oh no, Chewie, you don't have to pretend. You're our friend. We love you, Chewie.
It was a joke.
It was a joke, Chewie. It was supposed to be funny. I'm sorry. Where was I? I got distracted by Chewie. Gosh, this is why you have to pretend. Go head on over to patreon.com/Downtown Kentucky. You can listen to the audio commentary track we created while you watch the movie. And, it's all for free. Everything on our Patreon is free currently. I know I joked about, hey, you could give us money on Patreon, which you can, but every piece of content we currently put on Patreon is free. We put an audio version of this podcast and movie club commentary every week over on Patreon. I hope you head on over there and so you can be part of Movie Club next week when we watch... Drumroll, Chris. Not being picked up by the mic at all, but that's fine. It is Halloween. To be fair, it might actually be picked up on the audio podcast because you might be picked up by your mic, but it's not being picked up by Discord.
No, that's fair.
So, next week we're watching Halloween Town High. I know, crazy, right? On our third week of our Halloween Town movie franchise reviews, we're watching the third movie. Crazy.
Yeah.
Next week, turn to Halloween Town High, which I believe, and we'll see if I remember correctly when we get to it, is my favorite Halloween Town movie.
Oh my god.
The first one is a classic. I love it. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. But this third one, it just gets zany. So tune in next week to hear us talk about Halloween Town High. It'll be the most fun I think you'll have with these three movies.
Find out.
Now is where we would normally do trailer talk, but there were no good trailers this week. So we're moving right along to Tournament of Champions. This week, oh gosh, I forgot to turn on Chris's camera.
Ah, jeez.
There he is, Chris here. I know what you're saying. You're reading that, and you're like, wait, that's not what you said was happening next week. You're right. Last week I said DC villains. But I was looking at DC villains, and I realized the majority of the good ones are Batman villains, and I could do a whole list just on Batman villains, possibly two. But we're doing a list of all Batman villains this week. That's right. Tournament of Champion Batman villains. Oh. This is, as said by Chewie, the best segment we do. That's, going to be on the box art. It's going to be on the back of the box for when we release the Tournament of Champions DVD. The best segment.
Yeah.
In our West Coast bracket, we have Mr. Freeze taking on Bane. We also have Deathstroke taking on the Riddler.
Oh. Okay.
Moving on over to the East Coast now. We're going over to New York where WrestleMania happened. That's right. It's the Joker versus Two-Face. Probably like always, for some reason when I do these random draws, are a really unbalanced one. It's two of the best characters facing each other in round one. Joker versus Two-Face.
Those the two best characters.
Two of the best. I feel like Joker is definitely one of people's favorites.
They're good villains.
Two-Face
I don't
is
know
really
if they're
good.
like in a contest of like fight to the death.
We'll see. We'll see how it happens. We'll see what happens.
Alright.
Moving right along to our first ever all-woman matchup, because that's how how the women draw. That's how the draw happened here. I didn't plan this, but it just happened. We have Poison Ivy taking on her friend, sometimes lover, Harley Quinn. No, that's the bracket. Let's start our first fight here. We have Mr. Freeze versus Bane over here on the West Coast.
Mr. Freeze versus Bane.
Chris, what are your initial thoughts here?
I mean, my initial thoughts is, Bane's got super strength, which isn't great for Mr. Freeze.
It's true, but Mr. Freeze has really good puns.
Mr. Freeze does have good
puns. And depending on the version of Bane, he might not talk.
That's true.
Or he talks like this, and that's not great.
Yeah.
So
or we have Tom Hardy's.
If this was a podcast off, Mr. Freeze wins immediately. But it's not. It's a fight to the death.
It is a fight to the death. And I think Mr. Freeze honestly does, he stands a pretty solid chance against Bane.
He does.
Because he has the powers to
freeze gun.
Freeze him in place if he wanted to.
It's true. He also has more to fight.
That being said,
he also has more to fight for. He has, he does everything to try to, help save his, dying wife. Yeah. Does Bane have that kind of passion behind his fight? I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on what universe.
Is he fighting for justice? We don't know.
Yeah, is he just anarchy Bane?
Yeah. Is he cool luchador mask Bane?
Who's been fueled by drug.
Yeah, is he cool luchador mask Bane? Running around with Poison Ivy from the best Batman movie ever.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Also has Mr. Freeze in it.
It does.
This is the Batman and Robin battle right here.
It is.
I think the answer is Bane. I think the answer is.
I think Bane. Yeah, because I feel like even if Mr. Freeze did freeze Bane, I think Bane could break out of the ice.
I feel like he could. Yeah. I'm with you. All right, moving on to our next East Coast bracket. We have Deathstroke versus the Riddler.
Bracket. You reversed my bracket.
Did I?
I think, yeah. You've got West Coast listed as Deathstroke and Riddler.
That's where we're at. I just
said East Coast.
I might have misspoke right there.
Oh, okay.
Every other time on it, I've said the right thing. This is the West Coast. It's on the left.
Stop confusing me.
Sorry, Deathstroke versus the Riddler. Deathstroke versus the Riddler, Chris. Chris, this is wait, pause. This is part of my favorite segment within a segment of Tournament of Champions. Chris, please tell me how the Riddler wins. Oh, by the way, I guess if this is your first time tuning in, every week I like to choose one of the most imbalanced fights and have Chris try to give me a way for the obvious loser to win. Chris, please tell me how the Riddler beats Deathstroke. Does he tell him a crazy riddle he can't solve?
Yeah, clearly he asks him a really hard riddle, and then Deathstroke says, I don't know. And then the Riddler says, haha, you're dumb. And then he shoots him.
But my problem with that is, as someone who is a huge fan of the Teen Titans show, Deathstroke is very smart, and I don't believe he'd have any trouble solving his riddles. So your plan is flawed.
Valid. Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
So
Deathstroke would definitely kill the Riddler.
Yeah, no, for sure.
With relative ease.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Deathstroke moves on.
A lot of relative ease.
Time for the Joker, baby, versus Two-Face.
Really well-trained marksman.
Yeah, no, Chris, we've already moved on. You don't have to keep explaining why Deathstroke won. No one who's listening to this is complaining that we put Deathstroke over the Riddler.
I don't know, those Riddler fans.
those
Man, I
riddle
really like
heads.
Jim Carrey's performance as the Riddler.
I mean, I'd also like Jim Carrey's performance as the Riddler, but
So, anyways, back onto the East Coast, right?
yeah, heading over to the East Coast bracket. Our first one, it's the Joker baby versus
Two-Face.
Harvey Dent as Two Face.
And one of our maybe closer
I think that's our closest fight.
fights.
Oh, I mean, Mr. Freeze Bane was pretty close, but
It's
definitely way. This
relatively
is definitely
close.
way closer than Deathstroke the
Yeah.
Riddler. I'd
These are
argue.
kind of just two average guys who are crazy.
Yeah, which means I feel like this really comes down to who's crazier, who
And
is willing to do the most.
there's no contention.
It's the Joker, baby.
It's the Joker. He
Yeah.
will do whatever it takes to kill.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I don't think, once again, I don't think anyone's gonna be mad. The Joker is probably the most popular Batman villain. Whether he'd win in every fight, probably not. But everyone loves the Joker. So Joker moves on.
Yeah, I mean, the Joker's lost many fights to Batman.
That's
He
true.
just isn't killed because Batman is Batman.
So is Two Face. I'm sure. I mean, so is literally everyone on this list except for like Bane, who's only lost like one fight. He won the first fight, but then would lose the next fight in each story. Like it's when they tell that story, he loses at the beginning, but then, or he wins at the beginning, then loses because it's the Batman comic. Batman beats all of these. Whether he should or shouldn't, Batman beats every character on the list of Batman villains.
Batman.
Because he's Batman.
Batman.
I should have put Catwoman on this list, but she didn't come up because I think it's her. I think it's because she has her
not
whole.
A villain.
Yeah, she's done her whole anti-hero where she's sometimes a hero, so she did not come up on any of the list of Batman villains I brought up. But
Fair.
I feel like she definitely is also a villain at times and probably should have been on this list. I apologize for that. Take it up with the places I looked it up. So, moving on to our last round one match. It is Poison Ivy versus Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So we have one who is a crazy lady, and one lady who has control over plants.
Which, to be fair, you could argue, sure, you maybe gives her a slight advantage, but also, she's in control of plants. I feel like this is pretty close to an Aquaman level superpower where it's like, who cares?
It's not, though. Plants can pierce through concrete, Austin. Through concrete. You know what can't pierce through concrete? Most things.
I mean, a bullet can definitely go through concrete at times, and that's what Harley Quinn shoots. And also, a bullet only goes through concrete when it slowly breaks it down. Of years of slowly expanding it. It doesn't just sprout up and goes, I broke the concrete immediately.
If plants could grow that fast, it sure could.
I think it's the slow expansion that does it, not the strength of the plant, Chris.
I'm saying. Plants are much stronger than you think, Austin.
Well, no, you know what? I'm going to trying, because I'll be honest, I really want Harley to win here. I have a little bit of bias.
I like Harley Quinn as a character. I don't think she beats Poison Ivy in any.
I think the reason she does is I don't think Poison Ivy would kill Harley. I don't think she could, because I think Poison Ivy loves Harley more than Harley loves her.
I mean, that might be true.
And I think that comes down. I think Harley Quinn would be willing to kill Poison Ivy.
Death.
I think Poison Ivy Poison Ivy would hesitate for a second, and Harley Quinn would kill her.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
All right, we're going to the coin then. We're going to the coin flip. Right. I stick with Harley. Am I wrong? Maybe. Will we be eaten alive by comments at some point? Possibly. But I'm going with. I feel like I don't think Poison Ivy could kill Harley. I think she loves her too much, and I think Harley is just I think she's using Poison Ivy.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, Chewie's yelling at me. Chewie just said, you just
You
picked
just
a clown.
clown over Poison
Ivy. Bruh. But I stand by what I said. Harley Quinn is I don't think Poison Ivy would kill Harley Quinn. Even if she knows she has to. She wouldn't want to. And she'd hesitate. While Harley wouldn't.
Well, flip that coin. We'll see who wins.
I gotta remember which one's which. Okay. So, alright, reset. Chris, I will give you advantage. Tell me what am I flipping? What do you want?
Tails is Poison Ivy.
Tails is Poison Ivy, alright. I would like to... Oh, I don't think it's going to pick up on the camera. Oh. That's a head. See it? It's a head.
I don't.
I'm sorry.
But...
Well, you don't. But chat does.
No.
Well, in what seems to be an unpopular decision from our audience, I am sorry, but the coin has decided Harley Quinn moves on.
Yeah. She'll create a cool East Coast.
She does.
Fight.
And, Chewie brings up that Harley is so dumb she could get lost in Ivy's long grass, which is fair. But once again, I still stand by. I think Poison Ivy would hesitate to kill her, and Harley Quinn would be able to take advantage of that hesitation. Am I wrong? Maybe. Does it matter? No, because the coin decided.
Flip the coin.
The coin decided, and gosh darn it, I stand by what I said. And you can hate me for it. But please don't, Chewie. We love you. Don't hate me.
So anyways, back to the West Coast.
Also, let's be real. It doesn't matter.
Semifinals.
Let's be honest. It doesn't matter who wins this, because when they go to the Tournament of Champions, they're losing to a speedster. They're gonna lose to a speedster. That's honestly another thing. That's another thing. I didn't want to do DC villains because I'd have to put Reverse Flash in there, and then he would just win.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it depends.
Probably.
If I went broad on DC villains, I could have also thrown Darkseid in, but Darkseid's like a god.
Darkseid would have taken the whole championship.
It's not worth it to put someone like him. Well, it depends, because we still have to do. If we do Marvel villains, there's a couple of them who might beat Darkseid.
Yeah, it's valid.
Not
Thanos though.
Like Killmonger. I love Killmonger, but it was a joke because Killmonger would have no chance against Darkseid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely wrong according to Chewie, and that's fine. We're moving on though. Time for Bane versus Deathstroke.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I lean towards Deathstroke.
I think I do too. Because I feel like Deathstroke is Batman who will kill, and Batman can beat Bane without killing him.
Deathstroke is Batman who will kill.
Yeah,
that is a pretty accurate description.
And, I also think Deathstroke...
So Bane is only close range. We have to keep that in mind.
Also, depending on the depiction of him, I think Deathstroke's... Actually, I don't even know if it... Sometimes Bane's an idiot, but not normal. I believe in the comics he's not normally an idiot, but I think Deathstroke's still smarter than him. Deathstroke is
really smart.
Deathstroke would have come into this with a game plan on how to take out Bane, while Bane just came in saying, I'm going to beat him up. And I think planning is going to give this to Deathstroke, because Deathstroke is he's really good. My money's on Deathstroke. Maybe it's
my money's also on Deathstroke because Bane's not bulletproof.
That's true.
And Deathstroke is a highly trained marksman, and could just shoot Bane in the head, and then he's kind of just dead.
Shot to the head. Now you're dead. It is Deathstroke moving on. Which I do believe
even in close range, he has swords that he's really good with.
I can almost guarantee this is going to be another decision that is going to make Chewie angry, because Chewie chose Bane from the start. Wrong button. About there.
And that's, fair.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
Bane is strong.
Bane's awesome. I love Bane. I love doing the voice. It's fun.
I do love the Bane voice.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going.
Matt Bane definitely loses to Deathstroke.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like 100%.
Well, it's time for the Joker versus Harley Quinn.
Uh, yeah, Joker versus Harley Quinn. That's a fight that's happened
It has.
in the
I don't
comics,
know who wins.
and I think it's kind of a draw, but not really.
Hmm.
I think it's a
I
Harley
think
Quinn wins, but spares the Joker's
I'm
life.
gonna say my thought
Although
process
there
here.
is a comic I think where Harley Quinn kills the Joker.
Hmm. Well, honestly, I think for I'm gonna stay firm in one of my previous arguments because I think it applies in reverse here.
Mm.
I think Joker wins because I don't think Harley would kill him.
I think she absolutely would.
Which point in Harley's life is this?
Well, if this is the point in time where, Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are close, then it's
That's,
also the time when Harley Quinn's been like betrayed by the Joker and she wants nothing to do with him.
and like in in a lot of the comics keeps going back to him though, because she has like mental problems. I mean, they both do, but like she like is blindly in love with him in so many ways. He always treated her terribly.
Yeah.
And I think the Joker is a manipulative little jerk, and he would just start talking about how he loves her, and she'd buy into it, and he'd kill her.
Yeah.
That's
a pretty valid point.
If you want to go with Harley, we'll take this to the coin again, and I'm fine with that. But my heart is with Joker.
I think the Joker probably takes Harley.
I think he would just start talking about how he was so sorry, and she'd believe him for long enough for him to kill her.
Yeah.
Because he never cared about her.
Yeah. No.
So, sure. That's my opinion. And I also, as much as that is genuinely my opinion there, I also think there would be people out there who'd be mad if Joker didn't make it to the finals because he's the Joker.
Fair. I think it would be a close fight, but I think it would be Joker.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's one of those fights where, if you ran the fight 100 times, Harley might win 49 of them. But 51 of them, Joker's going to win.
The majority goes to Joker.
Well, now we're on to our finals. We have the champion of the West Coast. We have Deathstroke taking on the champion of the East Coast in Joker.
They both took two people. Let's relax a little bit.
The champion, Chris.
Champion of the West.
Gosh darn, champion. And I just want to say, fun little, not on purpose here, but when I think of both of these characters, I actually think of Deathstroke being in the West Coast and Joker being in the East Coast. Because when I think of Gotham, I think of like a New York / Chicago, which is but definitely closer to the east.
When you think of Deathstroke, you think of the Titans Tower.
I think of Titans Tower in San Fran, Tokyo. Yeah. Because I am a huge Teen Titans animated fan. So for me, this is a West Coast versus East Coast final.
There.
All right.
I'm
trying to think about how to discuss this. I think there's a more obvious probable answer, but I'm just trying to think.
A very obvious probable.
I don't think it's very obvious because the Joker, yes, always ends up losing, but he's taken it to Batman a lot of times as well.
I mean, he's taken it to Batman, who is a man who's always trying to hold back and not kill the Joker.
Fair. That's fair.
Versus Deathstroke, who is just a trained assassin who's like...
Chewie, stop reasoning.
Stop reasoning. Well, Deathstroke kills the Joker because he's Deathstroke and he's a trained killer.
But Chewie, you missed the point that this is a podcast, and if we just said this guy wins, this guy wins, this guy wins, it wouldn't be entertaining content.
Yeah, it wouldn't be nearly as entertaining.
I have to reason. That's the whole point of this.
Which would be terrible because we're probably not that entertaining as he.
No.
So if we just this guy wins for sure.
Yeah.
The end.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate and just even think of a scenario where Joker wins, and I'm having trouble.
And that's fair.
I think the answer is Deathstroke, guys. I think
the Joker beat the two people in this bracket that he would definitely beat, aside from the Riddler.
Oh yeah, he could beat the Riddler. I also think there's a chance he could maybe beat like a Mr. Freeze. It's not a guarantee, but there's a chance he could maybe.
Yeah.
He could
maybe.
Once again, kind of. Joker is a manipulative dude. He could probably somehow play on Mr. Freeze's insecurities, like threaten his wife, and like once again, moment of thought, like worry. Like I think there's a chance. I don't think it's a guarantee by any means.
Yeah.
The only two fights.
Also a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, I think the only people the Joker definitely beats are Two-Face, the Riddler, and I think Harley due to this situation that I built.
Yeah.
Deathstroke
definitely just straight
sure.
murdering through this.
Deathstroke wins. Deathstroke makes it to the finals, so he can lose to either Sonic or the Flash.
Yeah. How do you shoot a guy who goes faster than speed? I mean,
they both
That's
go too fast. They go too fast. We might have to do another DC one just so I can put Superman in there, so there's a chance it's not a speedster.
I mean, he's technically kind of a speedster.
He is. There's a reason Superman's not in the list, and he never will be.
Yeah.
But that's what we also. Some of the people in these finals, we do also have Thor, who is a god. So we'll see. We'll see when we get to it.
I think there is a situation in which durability probably.
Well, we'll discuss this when we get
pretty well with speedsters, but that's a conversation to have.
When we get to the Tournament
podcast.
of Champions at our 9th episode of the podcast, because we've been doing one a week, so that's how it'll work.
That's right.
Chewie's saying we're the best. Chewie is a liar. We are not the best. We appreciate that.
Take it.
But we will take your lies. Because they make me feel good. So I just want to, thank anyone who viewed this, whether you're here live or you're watching this later or listening to this later. If somehow you stumbled into our Patreon, I don't know how you got here, but thanks. This podcast was expected to maybe be short, and it went, I believe, our longest or second longest.
Classic downtown Kentucky.
Because that's us. You give us nothing to talk about, we'll overtalk somehow.
Yeah. We will ramble about nothing.
Pretty much. Thank you for tuning in. Our schedule's on our Twitch. Just go there. I don't want to do it every week. This has been the Downtown Kentucky podcast. But what we are going to do is the classic Downtown Kentucky. I'm Austin/Parfait, and he's...
And I'm Chris/Ox.
Someday we'll do it at the beginning.
One day.
Bye-bye!
Goodbye!